Listen, right now, your chest tightens, your mind races. Notifications pull at you like invisible chains. You speak when you should be silent. You break when you should endure. You chase fleeting pleasures that leave your soul hollow. You feel it, don't you? The quiet shame of a life half-lived. The knowledge that you are capable of so much more, yet you settle. You talk big. You scroll longer. You promise tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. The Zen warriors of ancient Japan knew this war. They faced it every dawn. They did not drown in noise. They did not beg for comfort. They chose the path of steel and shadow, a path where silence was the first strike. Discipline, the unbreakable armor. Victory, not over men, but over the weaker self that whispers surrender. You're not here by accident. The universe has brought you to this moment because the warrior inside you is dying to awaken. But awakening demands blood, not the blood of enemies, the blood of your excuses. Silence, discipline, victory, the three pillars of the Zen warrior. Are you ready to bleed for them? Picture the rain on an ancient dojo roof. Drip, drip like the slow hammer of fate. A lone figure kneels in perfect stillness, katana resting across his lap, eyes half closed, breathing so shallow the flame of a single candle does not flicker. Outside, the world screams. Wars, empires, betrayal. Inside, silence reigns. This was the way of the Zen samurai. Not mere fighters, warriors of the spirit. Men who fused the razor edge of Bushido with the empty mirror of Zen. In our age, the battlefield has changed, but the war is the same. We are besieged by noise, endless, merciless noise. Social media feeds that devour hours. Notifications that fracture the mind into shards. Jobs that demand our souls but give nothing back. Bodies soft from comfort. Minds scattered like leaves in a storm. We say we want greatness, yet we cannot sit alone for 10 minutes without reaching for distraction. The modern man is loud in speech and weak in action. He talks of discipline, but folds at the first craving. He dreams of victory, but fears the silence where true power is born. The Zen warrior laughs at such weakness, not with scorn, but with the deep compassion of one who has walked through hell and emerged whole. He understood a truth we have forgotten. The greatest enemy is not the rival across the field. It is the voice inside that says, stop, rest, you've done enough. Through silence, he silenced that voice. Through discipline, he forged a will that no storm could break. Through victory over self, he claimed a life that death itself could not diminish. This script is not entertainment. It is a transmission, a call across centuries from men who lived with one foot in the grave and the other in eternity. By the end of this journey, you will no longer be the same. You will carry the stillness of the temple in your chest, the iron of the forge in your spine, the quiet certainty of victory in your gaze. The rain still falls on that dojo. The candle still burns. The warrior still waits. He is waiting for you. Now the sacred silence where power is born. In silence, the soul remembers who it truly is. The Zen master sits. The rain falls. No words, no movement, only presence. This is not emptiness. This is fullness beyond measure. The samurai understood silence as the first and most lethal weapon. Miyamoto Musashi, undefeated in over 60 duels, did not win by shouting challenges. He won by waiting, by listening, by becoming the silence itself until the opponent's mind cracked under its own weight. In the Hagakure, Yamamoto Tsunetomo teaches that the true warrior speaks little. His actions are his voice, his stillness his roar. Consider the story of the four Tendai monks who vowed 7 days of perfect silence. On the first night, one pupil saw the oil lamp dimming. "Fix those lamps," he said. The second monk turned in shock. "We are not to speak." The third snapped. "You two are fools for talking." The fourth smiled and declared, "I am the only one who has remained silent." Even in the pursuit of silence, the mind betrays us with justification, comparison, pride. The Zen warrior cuts through all of it. Psychologically, silence is the reset button modern science is only now rediscovering. Constant noise floods the brain with cortisol. Dopamine loops keep us chasing the next hit. The default mode network, that restless inner narrator, spins stories of lack and fear. But in silence, the nervous system downshifts. The prefrontal cortex regains command. Clarity emerges like a sword drawn from its sheath. You feel exposed in silence because it strips away the masks. No more hiding behind jokes, plans, or busyness. Only you and the raw truth of your life. The modern application is brutal in its simplicity. Begin at dawn, before the world wakes. Sit, 40 minutes. No phone, no music, no timer that beeps and breaks the spell. Just breath, just presence. When thoughts come, and they will come like charging enemies, do not fight them. Observe them as clouds crossing the sky of the mind. Let them pass. This is zazen in the style of the Zen samurai. Not relaxation, training. At first, every cell screams for distraction. Your legs burn. Your mind offers 1,000 urgent reasons to stop. This is the forge. This is where discipline is born. One man I knew, a former soldier turned broken executive, began this practice after losing everything. Wife gone, business collapsed, body ruined by drink. He sat in silence for 30 days straight. On day 17, he broke down sobbing like a child. The silence had shown him every lie he had told himself. On day 31, he stood up different, calmer, sharper, dangerous in the best way. Within a year, he rebuilt his life stronger than before. Silence does not make you soft. It makes you lethal. Practical steps for the path. Create your dojo, a corner, a cushion, a single candle. Dawn or midnight. Consistency over comfort. Posture like a mountain, spine straight, jaw relaxed, eyes half closed, gazing at the floor, 2 feet ahead. Count breaths if the mind wanders wildly. 1 to 10, begin again. When finished, bow. Honor the silence that just trained you. Carry this silence into the day. Speak only when necessary. Let your presence do the talking. Watch how people lean in, how chaos around you loses its grip. In the old temples, they said, the pine tree teaches silence. Stand like the pine, unyielding, ancient, quiet. And in that quiet, everything changes. You hear the rhythm of your own heart. You feel the power waiting beneath the noise. You become dangerous. This is the first lesson of the Zen Warrior. Silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of power. The unyielding discipline, hammer and anvil of the soul. Discipline is love in its harshest form. The samurai rose before dawn, trained until muscle screamed, slept on thin mats, ate simply, lived as if death waited around the next corner, because it did. This was not punishment. It was devotion. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi writes, do nothing which is of no use. Every action served the way. No wasted motion. No wasted day. Discipline, to the Zen warrior, was the daily death of the lesser self. Psychologically, discipline rewires the brain. Each time you choose the hard path, the prefrontal cortex strengthens. The amygdala, seat of fear and impulse, quiets. You literally become a different man. Neurologically forged. Emotionally armored. Modern man fears discipline because he confuses it with restriction. The samurai knew it as freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of fleeting desires. Freedom to become what few ever dare. Take the story of Musashi himself. Orphaned young, raised in violence. He trained relentlessly. 2 swords, no sleep some nights, studying strategy under the moon. At 21, he dueled the feared Yoshioka clan, one after another. He arrived late to the final fight, letting their anger boil. Then he struck with calm precision. His discipline was not flashy. It was patient. It was total. In Hagakure, the way is found in the everyday details. Sweeping the floor with full attention. Sharpening the blade until it sings. Training when no one watches. The modern battlefield is different, yet identical. Your alarm rings at 5 a.m. Will you rise or hit snooze? Your workout calls. Will you push or make excuses? Your work demands focus. Will you scatter or commit? Every choice is a duel. Begin with the non-negotiables. Cold shower every morning, no exceptions. 1,000 sword cuts, or push-ups, or pages read before breakfast. No social media until afternoon. No alcohol when discipline wavers. Stack habits like layers of armor. After silence, move the body. After movement, feed it fuel, not poison. After fuel, attack the day's most difficult task first. One executive I guided began with just one rule. Make his bed with military precision every single morning. Small, seemingly meaningless. Within months, that single act of discipline spread like fire. His business tripled. His marriage healed. His body transformed. He said the bed became his altar of self-respect. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about return. When you fall, and you will fall, rise without self-pity. The samurai did not whine about yesterday's failure. He trained harder today. Short line. Fall. Rise. Strike again. This is the rhythm of the warrior. Practical architecture. Morning ritual. Silence. Movement. Cold exposure. Deep work block. Evening ritual. Review the day without judgment. Prepare weapons for tomorrow. Weekly death practice. One full day of extreme discipline. Fasting, training, reflection to remember you're not your comforts. The anvil is life. You are the blade. Discipline is the hammer. Strike yourself daily until you ring true. And one day you will look in the mirror and see not a man, but a weapon. Polished, lethal, ready. This is the second lesson. Mushin, the no-mind state of the Zen warrior. When the mind stops, the sword moves by itself. Taekwondo Soho, Zen master to the greatest swordsman, wrote of the unfettered mind. A mind that does not stop on anything. Not on fear, not on the opponent's blade, not on victory or defeat. It flows like water, reflects like a mirror, acts without hesitation. This is Mushin, no mind. The samurai trained for years to reach it. Repetition after repetition until technique vanished and only pure action remained. The archer releases the arrow without thinking now. The swordsman cuts without deciding cut. In combat, the man who thinks loses. The man who loses everything. Psychologically, Mushin is the flow state elevated to mastery. The brainwaves shift to alpha-theta border. Time dilates. Self-consciousness dissolves. You become the action itself. Modern application is everywhere, yet nowhere. The athlete who just plays. The artist who disappears into the work. The negotiator who senses the exact moment to speak. But you cannot force Mushin. You earn it through discipline and silence. Musashi fought his most famous duel on Ganryu Island against Sasaki Kojiro. He arrived late, deliberately, carved a wooden sword from in or on the boat, stepped onto the beach calm as still water. Kojiro attacked in rage. Musashi moved once. One strike. Victory. No thought. Only Mushin. To cultivate it today. Daily deliberate practice of one skill. Kata. Writing, coding, lifting. Until it becomes automatic. Then add pressure. Time limits, fatigue, distraction. Train until the mind no longer comments. Meditation in motion. Walking, running, sword forms. With total attention to sensation. No inner monologue. When the inner voice quiets, power surges. One young fighter I mentored struggled with competition anxiety. Mind racing, body tight. We trained Mushin through breath and repetition. In his next bout, he described it. I wasn't there. Something else moved my body. I won before I knew I had won. This is the state where victory is inevitable. Short line. No mind. No enemy. Only movement. The Zen warrior does not fight. He becomes the fight. Enter Mushin, and the world parts before you. This is the third lesson. The freedom that forges legends. The way of the samurai is death. Hagakure opens with these words like a thunderclap. Every morning, meditate on your own death. Every night, review your life as if it were already over. Live as a dead man, and you will live fully. The Zen samurai did not fear death because they had already died 1,000 times in their minds. This freed them from hesitation, from attachment, from the smallness that cripples most men. Psychologically, death awareness. Memento mori dissolves procrastination and fear. When you truly accept impermanence, every moment becomes precious. Every choice, eternal. The 47 Ronin waited years in silence and discipline for the perfect moment to avenge their lord. They knew they would die after. They accepted it. Their victory was absolute because death held no power over them. Modern man runs from death with distractions, denial, endless youth-seeking. The warrior runs toward it and finds life. Practice daily. Visualize your final breath. Feel the weight of your body cooling. Ask, did I live as a warrior today? Then rise and live so that the answer is yes. One entrepreneur facing bankruptcy sat with the thought of total ruin and death every morning for a month. The fear vanished. He made the hard decisions without flinching. Saved his company. Became unbreakable. Death is the ultimate silence. The ultimate discipline. The ultimate victory over illusion. Short line. Die before you die. Then nothing can kill you. This is the fourth lesson. The inevitable fruit of silence and discipline. Victory is not taken. It is remembered. The Zen warrior does not chase victory. He becomes the kind of man for whom victory is the only possible outcome. Musashi, in the Void Book of the Five Rings, speaks of the emptiness from which all strategy flows. When silence has stilled the mind, discipline has tempered the body, and death has freed the spirit, victory simply arrives. It appears in the boardroom when others panic, in the gym when others quit, in the family when others crumble. Real victory is inner first. The outer world merely confirms what you have already become. The path is complete when you no longer need the path. When silence is your constant companion. Discipline, your natural state. Victory, your shadow. Live it. Wake in silence. Train in discipline. Move through the day in Mushin. Sleep knowing death is friend, not foe. And one day, years from now, when your body fails at last, you will close your eyes with a faint smile. Because you lived. You conquered. You won. The rain has stopped. The candle still burns. The warrior rises. You have walked with the Zen warriors through silence, through fire, through death itself. You are no longer the man who began this journey. Inside you now beats the heart of a samurai. Quiet, unbreakable, victorious. The world will test you tomorrow. It always does. When the noise rises, return to silence. When weakness calls, answer with discipline. When fear whispers, remember death and smile. You are the descendant of legends. Carry their fire. The dojo door stands open. The path stretches before you. Walk it, not for fame, not for gold, but because it is the only way a man can truly live. Silence, discipline, victory. These are not words. They are your new name. Now go, become, and never look back. In the shadow of the leaves, the warrior finds his true face. Hagakure.